Hey guys, JJ Racaza here with Shooter Global. What I'm going to show you guys today are 3 simple drills utilizing 3 different targets that will take advantage and maximize your training sessions. I'm going to utilize the timer. I'm going to set up a new drill right now. It's called the attack control drill. Most of the guys that already follow me you know this because this is one of my staple drills that I use personally, and this is also one of the drills that I use in my classes, so you guys can go along with me. Description, I'm going to talk about speed and accuracy, because that's what we're going to focus on right now. And we're going to measure all the efficiencies and inefficiencies within. I'm going to set my delay to 2 seconds. I'm going to set my gun to the Beretta 92X. It's going to be live fire shooting, confirm. Going to shooting setup. So here's my shooting setup right now. I'm going to put that 2 seconds, time limit. We're going to leave a time limit at 0 right now. Oh, shoot. I'm going to leave my time limit to 0 right now, just because I don't want to have a set time limit. Shot limit should be 5, but I'm going to leave that as open as well. I'm going to have now my timer settings. It's already at 62, 100, so we can hear well. Targets, here we go. What I got is 2 standard targets, and then I have 1 steel. That's it. I got penalties. Yeah, I got hard covers, but we're not going to hit that today. So that's going to be it right there. And then the big thing about this current new update is the statistics. What we're going to do is we're going to run this drill a couple times. I'm going to run it at my baseline. I'm going to run it with my push, and I'm going to run it with my all out. And I'm going to try different runs on this, a few runs, and I'm going to show you guys how the statistics works on this and what we're really looking for, right? It's a very simple drill. It's a very short and quick and heavy drill to do. So now we're going to go right into the shooting part of this. In timer. So I'm going to merge it into the timer. I got my attack control done, and I'm ready to go. All right, guys, the drill is set up, attack and control. It's named the way it is because I'm looking for targets that I can attack, focusing on speed, and have 1 target out there that's about 18 yards away, small mini popper, that checks my control. That allows for me to be able to quickly rerun this drill. I throw a steel out there at 25 yards or 20 yards, so I don't have to run down there, check if I hit my target. I can immediately see it, whether I hit it, it'll sound, or it'll show me a good hit on steel. Close targets are about within 7 yards, and I'm just going to see immediately and tape anything that's outside the alpha. So I'm working on 2 things here. My speed, my ability to transition from my attack target right into a control, which helps my throttle control, and right back up to another speed target. I can change the sequence in any way. I'm just shooting it left to right now. So the sequence I'm working on is attack, control, attack. So you can see that that's how I'm going to shoot it, and then that's how this drill is. And this drill focuses on everything that you would focus or encounter out there in the real world or in the practical world, where we're running in and out of positions. You got speed targets and you got accuracy targets. So this drill is a really good drill. It's a really short, simple drill that you can repeat over and over, and it hits all those points. All right, so here's how the drill is going to look like. All right, now I'm going to mark the hits. I have 4 alphas, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 hit on steel, minor, summary, check my hits, check my hit factor. Best split is 0.24. I know I can do the better. I'm going to save it. Here we go. Summary, that was my fastest time. 11.69 now, 0.20 split. I sped up my shooting a little bit. Now I can click save. All right, guys, so basically with the 3 target drill, same exact setup, I'm going to change the sequence. Now I'm going to start on the steel. I'm going to fire 2 shots, then I'm going to immediately go to both my attack targets, the 2 speed targets, the 2 close paper target. I'm going to end on 2 steel, and that's how I'm going to shoot my 8 rounds. There's 2 ways to set up this drill. The quickest way I can do it is I can just copy the drill. I don't change the round count on there. It says 2 targets and 1 steel, right? But however, since I'm shooting more rounds, I'll just count the shots that I fire on the target as an alpha. So instead of me counting only 4 alphas and 1 steel, I'm going to now count 7 alphas, because every hit on that little steel out there in the back was considered an alpha, because that's basically the size of the alpha that I'm running. Same exact setup, but different sequence will allow for different changes, different challenges as well. All right, so basically sequence stuff, right? So I'm going to talk about attack and control. Control, attack, control, right? So the initial sequence that we had the target, we had the steal, and we had the target, right? So I call this sequence A, C, A. Attack, target, control, and attack target, right? So that's how I usually do the sequence. And that was 5 rounds. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. That was 5 rounds. And then later on, once I got familiar with the same exact setup, I changed the sequence and I made it to 8 rounds. 8 rounds is because I started on a steal, CC, attack, attack, and then into CC again. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's a total of 8 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, 3, 4 is going to be on that. 5 and 6 is this, and then 7 and 8. All right, so that's it. Steal, steal, paper, paper, steal, steal. Why is that important in regards to sequence training and running this particular drill? Because with the same setup, even though it's the same exact targets, what I actually worked on is this. You can see this is what I worked on. Let's just say in a competition, they gave me 2 plates and then 2 easy targets up close and then 2 plates again. So I was able to practice this setup, control, control, attack, attack, control, control, the same way I did it with this. Same exact thing. That's string number 2 or sequence number 2. Same exact sequence number 2, but different array is basically the same exact setup, except now, let's just say I gave myself a no shoot there, 2 open targets up close, and then again, no shoot. Now, because these are no shoots and partial targets, this is still control, control, attack, attack, control, control. I shoot these differently. Anytime I shoot a control target at 18 or 20 yards or whatever, any steal, I have to shoot it differently. I focus on the sights a little bit more. I modulate and articulate my trigger a little bit differently. When I shoot the attack target, the speed target, right, I just use my sights and grip the target harder. And so I'm working the same exact skill sets. However, I have learned how to shoot different types of array in the same exact setup. So with 3 targets, I'm able to work on different sequences, and as long as I can imagine how it applies to matches or practical shooting or anything, I can work on the skill sets that I need. Because ultimately, what I need for attack and control, the simple sequences ACA, is I need a good transition, work on that. That's number 1. Number 2, I need good trigger to be able to hit the control target consistently. I need to learn how to track my sights and have a good sight picture onto those hard targets, the control target. And then the easy target, I can work on my speed and accuracy per se, utilizing just sights. So I'm working on all these little skill set with 3 targets, being able to open it up. So with that said, if you're training out there in your range, you don't need a lot of targets. This is what I've done for years. I've never had multiple targets. I've only had a few targets. I didn't have the luxury of having 10 because that gets expensive. I worked and utilized my imagination to learn how to work the specific skill sets that I need to develop leading up to the match. So I can change the sequence again and go to attack, control, control, attack. So you can see that if I go attack, control, control, attack, that's back to 6 rounds, right? So the way I would shoot it in this general setup is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 fast shots, 2 control shots, and 2 fast shots. In this setup, it's basically the same thing as working now in a match. You can see an easy target and maybe a far target, paper, no shoot, and then another easy target again. So the same exact thing with the same 3 target setup, I can now work on the skill sets that I need in this particular order. I can change it up in 100 or thousands of different combinations, but with 3 targets, I can make my training really efficient. I don't have to spend a lot of time resetting, but I'm working on the skill sets that I need to develop for me to prepare for a big match or minor match or anything that I'm weak on. It'll also expose my weaknesses and my strength. I'm a guy that likes to start on hard target, a control target into speed, or am I the guy that likes to start on speed target and then be able to control that shot? This will be all up to you, shooter, and this will find out whether you're good at one thing or the other. You don't have to now take a guess. So when you see that presentation in a match, oh, this is an attack, control. This is what I'm strong at. This is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do well on this. All right, guys, with the same exact 3 target setup, I established myself as shooting static. I'm shooting well today, right? Everything's going well. I've already done different sequences. Now I want to include a little bit of footwork in there. Not a lot, just enough for me to learn and work on my exits and entry. I'm going to exit on one side and I'm going to enter on one side. Same exact 3 targets. Now I'm going to shoot 6 rounds to begin with, kind of make it easy for myself to measure all that. So it's easy for me to do. I just got to now set up and copy the same exact attack control part 2. Right now, instead of calling it attack control 2, I'm going to call attack control movement, so we can see it and distinguish the difference, right? So now with movement, shooting is the same thing. The shooting setup, this one, now we're going to dial down the targets because I'm only going to shoot 2 steel and 2 targets. So basically paper steel, the first one, and I'm going to run over to the right side. I'm going to do paper steel again. So that's 6 rounds total. So it's already there, set up. Yep, attack movement. I'm going to push in timer. There it is. Now it's going to be added to my timer. Now I can put this away. Now that it's all set up, I'm going to run the drill a couple times and we'll see how this goes. All right. All right, guys. So now that I put my timer away, I just got to select the right exact setting on exercise. Now we're going to go attack control movement. There's my movement. Everything's the same. Apply, and I'm going to start. So here we go. Ah, all right, very hard drill. All right, guys, so basically now I just finished shooting the drill. I'm gonna review, I shot it in 2 different ways. I had 2 different drills on it, one with 5 rounds and the other one with 8 rounds. That's drill number 2. We called it attack control 2. Attack control 1, or attack control, was the original setup. The 5 targets, shooting it left to right. 2 shots on speed, 1 shot on steel, and 2 shots on the last paper target. So we're gonna look at the statistics. All I gotta do is press this little chart on the right side of attack control, and I'm gonna start scanning all the way down to the bottom, and you can see statistics. I'm gonna click that, and you can see the numbers here. What we're looking for here is the transitions and numbers of hit factor and whatever. One was really low. I think that's when I had a bad run, but you can see 7 different strings, right? 7 different strings of fire, and I was able to record all of my hits. So here's how it is. Oh yeah, the number, I remember now, the number 4 was when we were messing around with the timer. So what I'm looking for here is the drill time, 2.73. This is when I shot it. My first run. Second run, 2.67. Third run, 2.48. 2.54, and my last one was 2.38 seconds. So as my time dwindled down, we're gonna see if my transition time, the transition time records the dead time. Basically, it says transition right now, but I like to call it dead time. The dead time between any time where my gun spent more than 0.3 seconds moving from target to target. And so you can see 273, 267, 248, 254, 238. It started to dwindle down as well because it's recording all of that. As well as my split time. My split time actually sped up because I started to push a little bit. It kind of mirrored the graph. It slowly went down a little bit, 0.26 to 0.24, 22s, and a 21 second, 0.21 second splits there. So that's where I start to look at. These statistics are going to be very important because when I start adding movement to this, you can start seeing like those gaps and how much time I'm spending when my gun is not shooting. When my gun is not shooting, I'm not acquiring points. So basically I'm losing points. So I want my gun to constantly be shooting. Now I'm going to check drill number 2, which is what we did in terms of sequences. I changed the sequence. I fired 2 on the steel, 2 on paper, 2 on paper, and back on 2 on the steel. Again, that's a total of 8 rounds. So now I'm going to go back to the statistics, squiggly line. I'm going to push that chart. And then here's my hit factors. Hit factor went 11.26, 10.781, 11.6, and my last run was 11.8. 4 different runs. As you can see, my drill time started getting lower and lower. Same exact thing. My dead time also got lower and lower. This will be dead times here. And then my splits, you can see, even though my times got lower and lower, my split time may have gone up because I actually shot a little slower to get my hits a little bit, and then you can see my overall efficiency got better because now I'm back to 0.19, and this is one of my slowest times here versus my last string there was my fastest time, and it gave me my fastest overall time as well, 3.37. All right, so I hope you guys can see that, and then I'm going to explain now on how the drill gets broken down in regards to how you can how far you can take this drill, the same 3-target setup, and open it up. I'm going to write it down on a piece of cardboard so you guys can see and visualize how far I take these targets, where you don't ultimately need 10 different target stands, 5 different steels to set up. You can set up 3 same targets that I set up here and run 1,000 rounds in random sequences, and you can just have a solid session. Based on this attack control drills that we just did, what I'm going to show you now that eventually this will track your scores up and down, your accuracy, how many alphas you had, right, on this particular drill. And eventually this will also show you the Charlies, the split time, and the miss. If you have any misses on target, you record it. So this will track a history. If you're shooting, are you making it better? If you're missing a lot, is your time getting faster? If you're being more accurate, is your time now getting slower? So you have to have the balance, and this will keep you accountable for all of that. It's not just, oh, I shot good, I felt good today. No, this will tell you in history, within a week, within a month, in a year, will it show you more and more greens or more and more yellows and more reds, depending on how you're running this particular drill, whether you're getting better or not. In the long run, in the long term, the statistics going to pay off to measure whether you're getting better, slower, faster, accurate, or however the combination of both. Hopefully faster and more accurate is the overall goal.